What is going on, my beautiful people? Thank you for joining me on another video. Luis Dating Coach here, and in today's video, guys, I'm going to be talking about long distance relationships. Now, what is a long distance relationship, and is it worth it? Here's the thing, guys. A long distance relationship is usually formed when a partner usually moves away hundreds of miles, thousands of miles away. You can no longer live in the same city for whatever reason, and so you try to say, hey, well, while you're living out in X place, I'll stay here. We'll continue our relationship. We'll call each other. We'll FaceTime each other. We'll let each other know how we're doing. We'll check in on each other, and we'll just continue to be faithful and loyal to each other, basically until one of us can visit or move to the other's location. Now, here's the thing, guys. That's usually what a long distance relationship is. The other way it could be formed is if you meet somebody online dating, and let's say you meet them and they live in a different state, pretty far away, or even the next state over, right? And you guys decide, hey, let's take this to the next romantic level, which would mean that now you have a title, right? But here's the reality of that, guys. In my personal opinion, I'm not a fan of long distance relationships. Sure, you can have them, and you can claim anybody to be your long distance partner, right? Same for them. They can claim that you're their long distance partner, but there's a lot of space and a lot of time in between you, and it's really hard to get together and continuously build intimacy and also continuously build affection together. Affection means, they're touching you, you see them, you hug them, you kiss them, and so there's no intimacy. You can't put your hands on each other. You guys can't build that very special bond that you build one-on-one in person. It's also a little bit different too when you're on a FaceTime or on a video call, right? And you can see their face, but you cannot read all of their expressions the same, especially if there's filters and effects going on. And that's what a lot of girls do, actually. They'll slap on a few filters on, plus the makeup, and now you don't know what's reality and what's filtered, right? So that's the other thing, guys. You can definitely get catfished. Same for the guys, though. I mean, a lot of dudes, they can be super short or super tall or super fat or super duper skinny, right? And maybe it doesn't show on the camera. It doesn't reflect that. And so when you finally get up off your chair, you may look taller in the camera. Then you see them in person and you're like, whoa, it's not what I was expecting, right? So there could be a lot of catfishing going on as well, guys. But that is what long distance relationships are. It's a relationship where you're not necessarily in the same city, within the same vicinity, and you decide to try to move forward with that distance. Even though that distance exists, you still want to be their partner, their relationship, right? In a relationship with them. So that's what it is. Now, is it worth the hassle, guys? In my opinion, no, they aren't. And here's why. So like I mentioned earlier, you cannot build that intimacy. You cannot build that affection. There's a bond and that bonding time that you need with that person. So when somebody lives close by, you might see them once, twice a week when you're first starting out, and you just can't do that. Even though, yes, you can FaceTime each other and make a virtual date, if you will, but it's just not the same. There's going to be a guy who they come across, and it might be in person, and he's just going to be charming. He's going to have everything that she's looking for, and she doesn't have to tell you about it, guys, because there's so much distance between you that there's just it's minimally, there's no chance you're going to find out, if you will, right? So even if she has a good character, good heart, I think having that distance truly creates a distance as well between really connecting together, guys. And so is it worth it for me? No, it's not. I personally love affection and intimacy, and I love being able to see my partner and hold her hand, pull them in, kiss them, and just do that week after week and have them just fall in love, right? And of course, just do some. That's my thing. I love that closeness. I love being able to touch, and I love it when a woman touches me as well. So it's one of those things, guys, that for me, it's just not worth the hassle. Plus, you can get so much more practice doing it with somebody in person, right? So whether that's dating, right, you're actually dating the experience, you're actually going out constantly, you're actually going out and having to build up this charisma and have this personality where you're kind of seducing the woman, and you have to do this continuously over and over again for you to perfect the craft. You know, dating is not everybody just has it, not everybody just comes with it. You have to practice, guys. You have to put it in motion and just do it over and over again until it becomes almost like second nature, right? So there's a lot to be had when you practice. You cannot do that with a long distance relationship, sorry. So with that being said, guys, that's what a long distance relationship is. Is it worth it? In my opinion, no, it is not. Can you do it? Of course you can. A lot of people actually have virtual dates together, and they kind of wait for each other, and then they'll see each other once a month or every 2 months or something. And you know, yes, you can make it work, especially if you have school going on and you have work. But the reality is, guys, there's a big chance, big opportunity, there's going to be somebody that crosses their path one day in person, and they're going to start talking to that person. They're going to start, you know, having, again, a little more intimacy with that person just because they're actually physically there. So keep that in mind, guys. I feel like it's not going to be pretty much as reliable as having a local relationship, somebody close by. There's a lot of things that you just won't know about them at every moment, right? And even if they're local, you won't know what's going on with them at every moment. But they're there. You can set a plan. You can set up a date, and you guys can make plans together. So keep that in mind, guys. It's just something to keep in mind. I'm not a big believer of that, of long distance relationships. I think if you have friends with benefits and they're further out, sure, you know, or just one time, you know, partners, right? Where you're like, hey, you know, like, I miss you, I want to see you, and you make a flight out there. That's it. Have a good time, right? Have fun. But don't focus on locking somebody down, especially when there's no intimacy yet. Especially if you haven't even met. If you haven't even met, and you're over here falling in love, goo goo gaga over the person, and you're sending them gifts, and you still haven't met, guys, I think that's a horrible way to go. A lot of women will use men, especially for money or for gifts, for them to buy them stuff, you know. So especially if they don't have to meet you and they don't have to give anything out. That's the thing, guys. Everything in life is a negotiation and an exchange as well. So you're exchanging your time, your valuable time, in order for them to give you back what you want, which in this case, a lot of men are craving intimacy, love, affection, you know, basically attention from the other sex, from the opposite sex. So with that being said, guys, that's my take on that. If you have any questions, my email is down in the description. Leave a comment. Let me know if you're going through this, or if you have a long distance relationships, if you've ever been in one. And that's it, guys. Make sure you hit that like button, subscribe, and stay tuned for the next one.